Hey everybody, what I'm going to do is an experiment with the freeze dryer and the sweet potatoes. I have 10 pounds exactly of sweet potatoes, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake them at 425 for an hour and get them all nice and mushy, and then I will mash them. I will then put them into the 4 trays and freeze dry those, and once they come out I will run them through the blender and do a powder. And the whole idea is that I want to take these 10 pounds and see when I vacuum seal them how much or how little I can get and the storage space of the 10 pounds. So that's going to be the whole idea of this. I'll remember once again that when I do vacuum seal these, I do them in cup or cup-and-a-half increments. When you take the powder and you measure out a cup and then you rehydrate it, you could end up with a 1.5 to 2 cups. So you always have to be mindful of where you're at. Yeah, I see once again a lot of these things of people online, and they'll take number 10 cans. Once you open it, it's subject to moisture and it will start rehydrating. So if you have, unless you have some way to then reseal it, which is, it's just not practical. That's why I seal them in smaller increments. That is portional. You know, you open it up, you use it, and that would be the whole, be the most logical thing to do. So we will see once these are done. Taters are done. 425 for, I don't know, you've seen those, and some of them were like as big as watermelons. So it took a little over an hour or so to cook them all. I did skin them and ran them through my mixer. So I've got mashed sweet potatoes. Once again, I can't reiterate what I plan on doing once they are, once they've been turned to dust. This is that I will bag them in, 1 cup increments. So when, when they're ready to be served, I mean, if you got 1 or 2 people, 3 people, then you figure cut it, rehydrate it, and voila. So anyway, there they are right there, and that is close to about 10 pounds still. So, and once the freeze dryer cycle is done in the morning or so, I will load up the trays. I will pre-freeze them in the regular refrigerator freezer. And there's a good reason for that. You pre-freeze, because if you stick them in the freeze dryer, you're relying on the freeze dryer to freeze them. And why do that when you're already paying for your refrigerator freezer? You know what I mean? So therein lies, if you pre-freeze it in the refrigerator, you're not adding to the cost of your electric bill. So it will still freeze to a point, but it's got sensors in the machine that will detect, hey, it's frozen. I can start the drying process now at this point. So you've cut hours off of it, and depending on the moisture content, I'm still looking at around 24 hours. So I've actually done batches in 17 hours. I did 1 batch that took almost 30, but I forget what it was. It was real soupy stuff. But anyway, so that's where we're at, and we will catch back up when it's done. All right, see you in a bit. Hi everybody. Okay, these are the 4 trays of the sweet potatoes that I have mashed, and I have pre-froze them. And once again, the whole idea to pre-freeze is that you're not wasting electricity with your freeze dryer, because if you already own a refrigerator, you can throw them in the freezer. Just make a little bit of room, toss them in there. You're already paying for it anyway. You pre-freeze it, and it knocks out the time on that it would normally take to then freeze it with this. So I am going to load this up, and then tomorrow evening I will pull them out and I will turn them all to dust. I will then bag them, and that will be the 10 pounds, and then I will edit the video, and then I will upload it onto YouTube, and then we can go from there. Thanks for watching. Okay, so just real quick, so when I do the packaging, I will start out with the plastic, just the regular vacuum seal ones. So I'll run it through this cheapie, and then I will do another on the continuous here. Okay, so I've basically sealed it twice, okay, on the bottom. What I'm doing right now is I'm just doing preparations for when it comes out. Now remember, these are all in 1 to 1.5 cup servings. I don't want to store, 6 cups. How many people do I intend on feeding? If I'm only intending on feeding a couple at a time, maybe somebody doesn't want sweet potatoes. Maybe we're not running a restaurant. I don't know. But you don't want to break open a big bucket of something and then have it now exposed to the elements. You want to be able to just open something up, and that's your serving, your proportional servings. So the intention when I get the sweet potatoes, remember 10 pounds, and then I'm going to vacuum seal those. And I will seal these up twice, of course, and then I will take a few of them and stick them into the Mylar. When I do that, I will then stick a 1000 cc O2 absorber in the Mylar. Vacuum seal that up, then it gets stored away. These will leak over time. How much time? Depends on the millage. But it's like a double protection. So it's going to take a long time for them to come out to leak from these. But I will still have them vacuum sealed in the Mylar with 1000 cc. Okay, so once again, and then I will go through how I vacuum seal the Mylar. And it's a neat little tray. But I won't do that right yet. So I will go ahead, and this is a really good bead on here. So it gives you a really good bead right there. But just for shits and giggles, I double seal it just like that. Bam. So we will continue this in a bit. Okay, the sweet potatoes are done. So a cheap little moisture meter from Lowe's does the trick. If you have any doubt whatsoever, if you think, use the moisture meter. If it shows 0, you're good. If it shows 2% or whatever, throw it back in there for another hour or 2. It's better safe than sorry, because you might open these up, in 3 or 4 years, and they're green. Okay. So it's better to be safe than sorry. Now, I'm going to run these through the blender, so I'll stop the video. But I mean, I actually put a little, I put a little butter in them, which is okay. You cannot freeze dry whole sticks of butter. You cannot freeze dry fat. Fat won't freeze dry. But and I stuck some brown sugar in there. I mixed it in there, so it's got a little sweetness to it. Not a whole lot, but So anyway, I'm gonna take these and put these in the blender and put these and pulverize them into powder. And then I'll do half-cup increments, and then I'll get these loaded up in the bags. And in the end, what we're gonna do is we're gonna see how much I can fill into one of these, or two of these, into the Mylar bags. Okay, once again, 10 pounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and run these in the blender and put them in the powder, and I'll catch back up in a few. Okay, I have got, these things were like a brick, and they've all been blended. That is 10 pounds. Maybe lost a little bit in some dust, but you know, that is dust, and it's, so it was very, very hard to blend. So anyway, I will go ahead and I used my half cup. I should have a, you know, thing to knock it off, but you know, I'm not gonna sit there. So I will add a couple of these, and then I will stop. I will go through the whole thing, seal them up, and then I will then go through the Mylar sealing process. Okay, and then we will see where we're at. So that is a cup right there of sweet potatoes. Okay, so that is a cup. It's not quite a 4-finger ounce, man. Oh, okay. So I will go ahead and start sealing these up, and then I will roll the video again, and of course edit, you know, and all that. But anyway, I'm going to get all this taken care of, sealed up, and then I will show you my Mylar sealing, and then at the very end we'll see exactly how much space 10 pounds of sweet potatoes will take up. Okay, I am back, and I got approximately 8 cups. Alright, so remember though, that when you add water, it's probably going to be 4 cups. You'll probably add an equal amount of water to rehydrate. So there's technically 2 cups. Yeah, 2 cups, not 4 cups. 2 cups, 4 cups, whatever, you know what I mean. So you're probably talking 2 cups. So you're talking 16 cups of sweet potatoes. Now, is that a lot of work? Well, depends. If when you're talking a shelf life of 20 years, I took 10 pounds of sweet potatoes, and I will condense this down to a size that I could probably fit in a 5-gallon bucket. I don't know. We may find out somewhere down the road. I guarantee I could probably fit a bunch. So I'm going to then stick these in here, okay? And I seen this on YouTube. So the guy took from the plastic, because it's perforated, it's got the little bumps, and that is the key to vacuum sealing these with, like your food saver, is then you stick these tabs. You just make little tabs out of a piece of the bag. Okay, so, and then that way when you stick these in and lock it down, it has somewhere for the air to actually go through those little ridges, those little bumps, and the air will then be able to suck out of them and then seal it. Because when this goes in and locks in, there's nowhere for the air to escape. So that's why he puts these little things in here. Now, I was going to try and take like a file, like a really coarse file, and then like an ink roller, and roll it and see if I can't, you know, get some perforation. I don't know, but for right now, I'm going to use these, and I'm going to see if I can get 4 per bag, bagged up, and then we'll get a total. And remember, when I do these in the bag, I will put a 1000 cc O2 absorber in with these. So in case when these start to, you know, pull oxygen, or if one says, you know, starts to come in, they're still locked. They're locked into place. So, okay. So I will do that, and then we will check back in on the finished product. Okay, so they've been bagged. There's 4 cups of dry, 4 cups of dry. Together, total weight, 1.8 pounds out of 10 pounds. There are still 10 pounds, but I removed, 8.2 in water. When you rehydrate it, you put that water back in there, and it's back to sweet potatoes. It is. All the nutrients are still there, all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the yummy goodness. So, with that being said, 1.8 pounds reduced. Just imagine how many of those that you can store. That's quite a bit. That'll feed you for, I mean, if you had that as a supplementation to something else, a lot of yummies. So anyway, I think that's a wrap on that. But the whole thing was that Christian had put that video out on the growing and expressed the concern of, hey, look, it takes a lot of space, it takes a lot of ground to grow potatoes, and it's absolutely correct. I mean, but the ones that you do harvest, how do you keep them? That'll keep 20 years if you make sure they're dry when you pull them out, and you vacuum seal them correctly, you store them correctly. Now, once again, you can take and stuff them all in a number 10 can and seal them and invest in that. But when you crack open that number 10 can, the moisture is eventually going to get to it. So you better eat it up. You better be ready to eat a lot of sweet potatoes. That's why I can't stress enough that if you individually seal them in enough, 1 cup or 2 cup or whatever, that's your serving portion. Throw the bag away. So, it costs a little bit more for the bags to do it that way, but in the end, you don't have a big, bucket that you open up, and 3 days later you're like, man, I want them sweet potatoes. Oh man, so you keep that in mind. So that is a wrap. I don't think there was anything else. Something in his video today, said something else that I wanted to kind of go over, but anyway, I think this sums this one up pretty good. Alrighty, thanks for watching.